Hi everyone, Precious here. Welcome to my mom's channel.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Precious Plushies. I'm Connie, the owner, and Precious is at the groomer. She'll be joining us a little bit later, but I need to get this started and I couldn't wait on her to be done. So I've got a lot to show you. I've been working my tail off, so I'm very excited though about what I do have. So I'll start with, I went to Oxford today, or not Oxford, I went to Gadsden today and found out where the mall is, so I will be able to do that on that day and know where to go. Basically, I don't know which side of the mall they're going to have it on, so that's what I got to find out from them. But I know how to get there. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to get there, and obeying all the traffic rules of the road. So that I've got that figured out. So I had to do that just so I'm not, my anxiety and my stress level isn't high that day. I want to have everything ready. I'm actually going to start today and tomorrow crocheting my butt off to get as much done as I can, but I'm also going to be going out to my shed and getting out my table and my chair and anything else I need out of that and put it in my car. That will make the day that I take off, Friday, or well, Friday is when I'm taking off, so the day before that's Thursday, and that's when I'm going to the beautician, so I'm like, I don't have a lot of time. So I've got to get this stuff in there so that I'm not up until, 2 o'clock in the morning on Thursday getting ready for Friday. So I've got that done. Well, I went to my beautician after that to pick up my stuff because there wasn't a lot left, but she'd sold some stuff, so I was really excited because I knew I needed some more possums, and I won't have to make more because I've got a couple right here to add to my others. Now if I want to make some more I could, but I didn't want to have to. I didn't want to feel like I had to make them, so I've got those. So I'll be adding those to my, well, I've got to get the prices and all that good stuff, but I'll probably have a sign up for them though. So I also had thought I was losing my mind, if you were looking at any of my other videos, my last video on inventory at least, because I couldn't find my little Demogorgon, and I couldn't find, I knew I had eggs in shells, kind of a fancier egg, and I thought I had 2 giraffes. I couldn't figure out why I only had one in there. So I was excited because there's my little Demogorgon. It's the smallest one of the 3, but no one has, like I said, everybody's selling these things like crazy, and mine, at least where they are, haven't even really been glanced at. So I don't know why, but I'm going to keep taking them until I either sell them all or something happens. I have another one of my little mice with the cookies. So I've got 2 now with overalls. She's got a pocket. I didn't make the pocket on hers. If you want to, I guess. But anyhow, that's the other one I have. And then I did make a plushie that's like Jellycat. And I'd forgotten about it actually, and that was the cloud, the little happy cloud. So I've got the little happy cloud. I'm going to be taking him as well. He's a cutie patootie. Cute little thing. So then I got to looking, and lo and behold, here's my second one. So it had not sold, which the bigger things just don't sell there at all, no matter what. But yeah, there's my second one. So I do have 2 that I will be taking, and I'm so happy about that. I was going to make another one if I had to, but if I didn't have to, I didn't want to. I like her because she's got the little eyelashes, and then also the blush. I always put blush on. But these are cute. I think those are, no. I thought those were the eyes I made, but I don't think they are. I think they're just glitter things. Now, I've never talked about this one, but this is for my favorite designer who I've talked about several times. I must have sold both. I didn't think I'd sold both, but I must have sold both of my little teddy bears that had stocking caps. I must have sold them both. I didn't think I did. But anyhow, at the same time that I made them, I made this one with a little engineering like hat side on the side there. And I don't know. I think he's cute. I think he's cute because he's got his little hat on and his little engineering overalls. And I put the little buttons I got from Michael's. I put those as the little holders there. So, and this is so easy to do because you're not having to do two things. You're just changing your color from brown to the blue. So that's all you're doing is making a color change. And then up here, of course, it's not the same color, but that's how a lot of the clothing that I do anyhow is. Now I did embroider those eyes, and I like to embroider. I didn't think I was gonna like embroidering eyes, but the more I do it, the more I do like it, and I'm learning more and more, like different ways to do it to make them sort of doesn't look like the same person did it over and over again, but also just to give them more of a different look. So I'm really enjoying that part. Now, the other thing I found, now I did sell one because I only had found one, and I know I would have taken more than one. I think I'm down 2 as a matter of fact. So, but I did find one of my chicks in the egg. So I'm happy about that. I'll add that to my collection. I'm not so stressed about needing more because as long as I have 3 to 5, I'm happy. I'd forgotten all about this little girl. She is so sweet, but just a little small dragon. And I didn't really follow anybody's pattern. I just kind of made it myself, freehanded it, because it wasn't very hard. The thing about it is I think I'm also going to add some white fur to her back, just to give her a little something, something more. Well, that came out. That's not good. There we go. But I think she's just cute. She's just a little thing. And some little girl hopefully will want to buy her. But nothing special, just a little something I put together. And then, I love this guy. No Catchy Name is where I learned to do turtles and pigs. So this is one of her patterns that she does on her YouTube. It's a free tutorial on how to do this pig. And then I also did the embroidery of the eyes. So I embroidered the eyes in this one. And it looks like somebody kind of messed with it because they're not the same. And they were the same when I left them there. So I might have to play with that a little bit and fix that a little bit because I don't like that second eye. But anyhow, that's weird. There's this little tail. And it's just a little loaf pig, more or less. But it's not hard, not difficult. And I like the way it looks. I don't like a lot, you know me, I don't like a lot of loaf things, but this loaf pig I kind of did like because it's just cute. But no one bought it. So then I have 2 of my, again, something I'm very glad I found that I did have, is 2 of my snakes that I follow the pattern of, what's her name? Why does that look like that? They pulled it out. I'm going to have to fix this one's, I think I might just take that out because I'll have to fix it because somebody pulled on it. Another fatality at the beauty shop. That's 3 now. So I'm not happy about that. I'm going to have to find some little things that don't have any moving parts or anything like that because obviously that's what people like to mess with. But I just went in and took everything out because I'm going to need it for the market. But if things don't improve, then I don't know if I want to have my stuff there because I don't like having stuff ruined and people don't respect, obviously, what I do. So, but I've got 2 of those. And where's my other? Oh, and most surprising, especially with how good they do sell at markets. But I'm glad because now I've got them to sell at markets. But I only sold a couple, I guess, with her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. I think I had 8, and I've got 6. But and that's my chickens, my chicken nuggets. So I got smiley face, another smiley face, skinny guy. Like it. I've got kind of, yeah, smiley face, a little different. Straight face really kind of looks perturbed, but it's supposed to be just a straight face. And the last one is another happy face, just a little bit different. So I do all kinds of different sizes, different shapes. And then I put them in this little basket that I got that looks like, you know, what you would get in a fast food, nondescript fast food restaurant. And people seem to like them. So I do have a pattern of a little dish and dipping sauce. And I thought about maybe getting some of those and, you know, putting a couple in there, or put like dipping one in there, or having it so I could sew it in, and selling that as another item. But I don't know yet. I don't know. So, but I wanted to show you those and get those done out of the way. And now I can go on to my other makes, what I've done this week. So I had told you once that I made those eggs, those fried eggs, and I had gotten a little set, a little toy set to put them in. And so that's where I got my little skillet and my little spatula. So that's where I'll just lay them in there. Maybe lay some on maybe make a plate, like crochet plate, and have it sitting right next to the frying pan. And then I got my Michael's bag. In a relationship, a committed relationship with the craft supplies. So in my bag is all the makes of this week. Well, not all of them, but most of them. I got some of them laying around here that I haven't quite finished yet. But I have made some of the ducks, different sizes of the ducks. And variegated. I like the variegated. They're bigger though. A lot bigger. And those two right there. I'm gonna have to decide on what the price ranges are going to be, and I might just do each one individually, just because I'm not. They're all different, and they're all different sizes because I use different hooks and different types of yarn, so they're all coming out to be different sizes. I used to do just the small ones that you would put in a Jeep, and then I thought, why? Because I saw everybody else selling the big ones. But these are parfait, chunky parfait chunky. And then I've got the variegated, which is of course the Burnett. And got this one too. And I have a couple that are keychains as well. But I just want to get different colors because maybe one of the colors will make someone happy. Now I have this one, Flower Child. I like those. I was gonna put a face on, but none of them have faces on them, so I'm not gonna put one on her. But I like this one a lot better than that one I did that was so horrible that I decided not to take with. I might even go back and take that and see if I can't take out that yarn and maybe redo it. But I went ahead because I'd like to have at least 2 or 3 of these. So I went ahead and made another one, but this one with a yellow head, and I'm going to use white petals. I did some white petals and I didn't like the way it looks, so I took them out, but I'll have them similar, but this one will be like a daisy, I guess, white and yellow. That's what I'm thinking of anyhow. I just thought I'd do a couple that were different than the burnt orange and gold, like a sunflower. And then I did eggs, fried eggs. And I was watching one of Mr. Beast's competitions. And while I was watching their competition, I just competed against myself to make as many eggs as I could. So I've made 5 eggs, fried eggs, that I'll put in that little skillet. Ta-da! Oh, I think they're so cute. So that's where that'll be. And I want to get some shelves, but I don't know if I'm going to get them here in time or not. I keep thinking of things I can do for my table since I'm not going to take all my tables. Yeah. Now, the other thing that I've never made that supposedly sell great and have been selling great again is the little bees. I don't know what they call them, but they're just loaf bees, but that's not what they call them. And I got carried away because I was doing these during the Mr. Beast games also. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's good, I think. That's a good amount. So I can put about 3 or 4 out, and if any of them sell, I can restock them. But I think they're cute too. But that's a lot. That's a lot. So then I also did my favorite now. I think it's my favorite. And I don't like the real ones. I got a real one that lives outside in my yard because he comes up and eats my cat food if I leave it out overnight for the cats. So I don't leave it out for the cats anymore because I don't like them. And that is a possum. Everybody's like, oh, you should feed the possum. No, why? Why? No, I don't want to feed a possum. If anything, they got razor sharp teeth, and if they ever turn on you, they can kill you. Well, I don't know about kill you, but maim you. So, but this one is a sweet little possum. Look at that face. That is a face that only a mommy can love. Look at that. I did those eyes myself. And I was going to do black legs, but I didn't even think about it, so I just did the gray. And you can do the, I think I want to stuff the next one. It says not to stuff the tail, but to me that's just so floppy. And having a floppy head is bad enough. Having a floppy tail, I don't know about that. But I made the longer body. And on all of these, I will make the longer bodies from here on out. I like the longer bodies better. But I like the longer bodies better. But I just think that's the cutest little face I ever saw. Look at those. So cute. I will probably make another one. I don't know if I'll make one for the event or not. But the next one will be black and white and gray. Instead of just gray and white with black ears. But I just think he's cute. Very cute. And I've decided that I'm going to sell them all. The price I'm going to have on all of them is $40. So, $40 to $42, I think. Yeah, we'll discuss that in a minute. And then, the last thing I was making, and of course, like always, I might not say their names, but I will show who I'm talking about. When I made some of these. There's another variegated. That looks funny. Variegated duck with blue lips. There is a pattern that I've had in my tablet for quite a while, and I just never did anything with it. I just never got to it, actually. And the other day I thought I need to have some swinging animals. Everybody's just talking about swinging animals, and I've had swinging animals, but I've never made any except for the parrots. But everybody's been talking about them, so I'm like, okay, fine. So this is a pattern that and the swings I just made myself. I just do whatever I want. I just freehand. I just do a circle, basically. But I'm hoping people will realize that this is a... Whoops. I'm hoping they'll realize it's a beaver and not a walrus. Because to me, those teeth make it look like a walrus. But hopefully they'll figure it out. So I made 2 of those. Walrus beavers. And then I took my little chick that I'd made previously and put him on a little swing. If I make a bigger one, I'll do it, a standalone. But when they're this size, I don't really feel right just selling them as is. So I'll either be making most of them into either keychains or swings. And then this one I told y'all about that I had a squishy ball in, and I took the squishy ball out. So now he's got his own little swing. And I just chained arms to make them go around it, or else they fall backwards or whatever. And then there was someone on Instagram, free pattern. And that's what I love about these. I mean, you can get so many really good patterns that are free. But me, I spent thousands of dollars. Thousands in 1 year. A lot. Too much. I gotta stop that. But that's why I'm making patterns, is so I can sell and start making back some of that money that I've been spending on everybody else. So she's got like 8 of these. I made a few of them. There's a frog, a bear, bunny rabbit, yellow chick, mallard duck, panda bear, monkey, and penguin. So I made the frogs, and why? There you go. You gotta place them just right, or they're gonna fall forward. So I made 2 of the frogs, cute little ones, and I guess I've lost. I did a panda, but I can't find the panda anywhere. But I got the bunny rabbit and the bear done, and they're just cute little things. So I'll put them on their own little swings. I've got swings made. I just need to put them on there. Little last minute project things, I guess. But if I can find the panda, that would be great. But that's it. That's what I made this week. I've got a lot. I need to stop worrying so much about what I don't have, because I do have a lot. But I do, because I think, what if I had this and maybe somebody bought it if I had that, things like that. I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I'm just going to let it happen. And I watched someone today who was talking about prices, and she's very, very steadfast. I mean, she believes in it. She's going to tell it till the cows come home and then some. But she believes in making sure that you are making a profit if it's a business, which I totally agree with her. However, she talks about how much you should be getting paid, and she's right. $10 an hour really isn't enough for those of us that have been doing it for years. However, you've got to also, and then she talks about a profit margin. You got to add this. So she's doing material, she's doing time it took, and then she's adding a profit margin in there for overhead and everything else. People aren't going to, and she's like, people buy. No, they won't. Not where I'm from. No, they won't. And that's something that she doesn't understand, that I think we all should understand. It doesn't matter what I tell you my prices will be or what somebody else tells you their prices will be, because it's going to be different depending on where you are in the world. It's where you are in the states, because there are some states that are going to appreciate it more and appreciate that, oh, well, yeah, that's $40, so that's probably really good quality, whereas this thing over here that this woman made, same thing, is $10. Yeah, that's probably not very good quality. Or they're going to look at it and go, well, she paid, she could do it for 10. This lady probably could do it for 10 too, but she's really stiffing me for $30 extra. So it's hard for us as crocheters we're hurting each other without meaning to. I don't see it a lot, but she does. But like I said, she also puts on a profit margin and all this other stuff that I'm fair. I want to get what I put into it, and a little bit more, because that's what I'm doing, is I'm trying to sell and make money. Yeah, the profit margin, yeah, it matters. But that doesn't mean that something that I can sell for $10, I need to be putting 20 on because of some calculation that she's got, and she's got all these calculations you put all this information in. Doesn't mean that that's good, and it doesn't mean it's going to sell. I probably should sell it on Etsy, and if they weren't taking so much money, I would. But because you can reach more people that way. And I've had my own website. Granted, I'm not very well known, but I'm not going to keep paying for a website until I get more of a following, because it's a waste of money for me. But I wanted to have everything there in place in case, I did grow. So that's another thing. I'm going to do my best to have a video out for you while I'm because I'll be at the market Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I won't have time to, do anything with the market until the next week. I'll be lucky to be able to get up on Monday morning and go to work. But yeah, that's something I'm going to have to do. What I might do is I might do like all the stuff I got to do prior, because there's a lot that goes into doing a market. It's not just throw everything in the bag and go. There's a lot. You have to price things. You have to put things away. You have to get things out of wherever they are, put them in the car. There's a lot you got to do. And then don't forget this, don't forget that. I don't want to forget my money. I don't want to forget my stamp. Just so much that I don't want to forget. So yeah, That's what I'm doing. I need to go though. I know I promised you the puppy, but she's still at the groomer. I really thought that they would have called me by now, and in between all this, and I would have needed to go and get her. They haven't called me, so she's not here. I'm taking her with. Say a little prayer, put it out in the universe, whatever, that she behaves herself and has a good time. I just don't want to leave her at home all alone for full days on end, and I won't be getting home until, late at night. And she has a playpen she stays in overnight. She goes to bed at about 9 or 8:30, and then usually when I'm home, she's out by 9 in the morning, or if I have to work, then she has to stay in there until like noon when I can get home, and that sucks. But I have to do it that way, especially with the 2 cats, or we'd have it'd be bad. But she seems to have no problem with it. I mean, she sleeps most of the time anyhow, and then when I get home, I take her out and we run and play and all that good stuff. So you can tell that's been something that's been going on in my ADHD mind. Is worried about the dog and am I taking good enough care and blah 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 blah. Because I just kind of let it spill out here. But I need to stop reassuring myself. She's well taken care of, and she knows that little thing. She doesn't know how good she's got it. She's got it better than a lot of animals. But anyhow, I will try to do some kind of a video, probably of me maybe, like I said, getting stuff out of the shed outside and putting it in my car. And I'm really scared about doing that because the last time I have a pest control guy that comes about once a month, I think, and they always let me know when they're coming, and I always tell them to check for spiders. I don't like spiders. There's one huge, I'm talking, that thing was huge, probably the size of my hand, wolf spider in my house. It had to be a wolf spider. It had like orange and black stripes on its legs, and don't like spiders. And I was walking across my bedroom, this was a few years ago, scared me, because I was walking around barefoot because it was summertime, and I had my dog Dixie on at the time, and I didn't want it to bite her because I didn't know what kind it was. So I ran and got my shoe, and I'm not sorry to tell you, I stepped on that thing and killed it. Don't like spiders. Well, I always come check for spiders, and I have brown recluse. Live in a part of the state or part of the country that gets brown recluse, and I've got at least one, and he said probably another, and I've had them kill them before. So I'm like, okay, so this isn't a one-off, this is whatever. And then I got to thinking the other day, because they were going to come and do it, but I'm not paying you thousands of dollars to have you treat it when I'll do something myself before that. And I do have some ideas. I know they don't like the smell of peppermint and things like that. I've got essential oils, peppermint. I have been spraying around the like all the little cracks and everything, and plugging up those cracks with what are those things called, those little scrubbers. They're just, I don't know what they're called, but just little scrubbers that you use like on dishes and stuff. And I put that in there because it's something that they don't want to be around, or don't want to try to get through. So I do all the little cracks I can think of that way. And I've been watching a guy on YouTube that tells you, he's a pest control guy, and he tells you about going around the whole house and what you got to do about every 9 months just to eradicate them. And I'm like, I don't know that I can do that. And the guy showed me a picture of a dead spider, that it's a brown recluse, but it was a male, and it was dead. And he said, I know there's a female under there, and if this one's dead, then she's got babies. Because, and I knew that already, that brown recluse are one of the types of spiders, and I think the black widow, I think that's how black widow got her name, was after they get impregnated by the male, they kill it, or they sometimes they kill it and I don't know if they drain its blood or eat it or whatever, but and they're much bigger than many of the spiders. I don't know if you know this or not, but I've noticed many of the spiders, the boys are a lot smaller than the females. And I'm like, man, so they can get, they can dip fast. So he showed me a picture. Now, I don't know the guy from, anybody else, so I don't know if he was telling me the truth or not, the guy that came out to inspect it. But he showed me a picture of a dead one, and he said, you know, if there's a dead one, then there's probably a pregnant female somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, because they kill them after mating. I know that. So I also know that they like to be in dark, warm places, which my shed is dark and warm and dry. And oh God, I'm hoping that they're not in any of my stuff. I'm gonna go out there and spray it with the smelly essential oils. But I just have a feeling that I'm going to find spiders out there, and I hope not. And I hope I don't find them in any of the stuff I've got. So I might need to wear some gloves so I don't get bit. But that's another story for another day. You know me. I'm going to talk to you about crafts and everything else that runs across my mind. I'm getting scared. The world's getting scarier and scarier by the minute. But all we can do is power through and pray for a better economy. And I'm just hoping that this is something that it's not, you know, it's not food, it's not clothing, and so basically they don't need these items. So how long is it going to last? Am I going to be able to keep selling? Don't know. But that's another story for another day, but one I probably won't talk about. I'm a little bit passionate now, I feel. So I have, like I said, swings. I'm probably going to work on swings. But, oh, I did remember. There was another pattern I found. It's not free, but I found it like in February. She was having a tester's call on it, but she didn't have it. She hasn't put it out on her Etsy shop yet. It's the same person that I made that made the toilet paper rolls for free. The patterns for free. And she said, yeah, she'll be putting them out soon. And that's been over, you know, it's like February. So we went out to March and part of it over a month and a half. And I'm like, you've already had the tester call. Why haven't you put out the pattern? And I really wanted it. So I sent her a message on Etsy, because I had sent it to her already and said, hey, do you have any idea? And she said, no, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know. So I sent her another one. I said, I know you told me you would let me know, but I'm about ready to have a market, and I really want to take them and see how they will do it in market. Do you have any idea when you're going to have them posted? And that sweetheart of a designer sent me her Canva pattern, because she didn't have it all done. She was now it's all written out, but I don't have all the pictures up and everything. And I'm like, that's okay. Bless her heart. Now, when she posts that on Etsy, yeah, I'm going to purchase it, because she didn't mean for it to be free, and I'm not going to do that to other designers. I don't think that it's fair. They're selling them for a reason, and she already has some free stuff out there, you know. So I just thought it was so sweet of her. So I'm going to try to make some of those little belly babies and see if I can't sell some of those, and then I'll let her know if she ever wants to test for me. She's more than welcome to, because I know I'm going to have a whole lot. I've got a duck, I've got a goose, I've got a chicken, and I've got the beginnings of a unicorn so far. So I just need to get those written up, all the pictures like she's doing in Canva, and then I can maybe put them out for a tester call, but it'll be after the market. I've talked enough. I need to get to work. So thank you. Like I always tell you, switch it up. And this is, you guys, you're not going to believe how many times in a week I have heard manifest this and manifest that. People are learning about manifestation, or they've always known it, they're just talking about it now. I don't know. But I've told you before, I believe strongly in I believe strongly in manifestation and putting out that positive energy and just living as if what you were hoping for were already true. And one of the best things you can do, even if that's not happening, is keep a positive attitude. Try to see the silver lining. I had a friend who told me to look at silver lining. I got so sick of hearing that, but it's true. But you're going to be such a happier, more happy person if you do that. Manifest your life the way you want it to turn out, and just keep believing and keep manifesting in that way. Keep being positive and love yourself. Above all, treat yourself with love and respect, because until you love yourself, ain't nobody else going to love you. So just keep that in mind. So switch it. Thanks. Bye.